How's it going? I've done a lot of rural real estate over the decades, and it's great, a great niche. It's not too much competition, a lot of big profit margins, that kind of thing. I want to talk to you about septic tanks right now, okay? And I'm just going right into it. Whenever you're looking at a rural property, okay, chances are, okay, it's going to be you're going to have it'll be well and septic. Okay, it could maybe not. It could have a sewer system, but more likely than not, it's got a septic tank. Okay, I've seen more properties with city water in a septic tank, for example. My folks are like that, right? They have city municipal water in a kind of semi rural part of town, and then they have a septic tank. Okay, so this is something you need to really own because septic tanks can be pretty expensive. So a couple things you need to look into when you're looking at any kind of rural thing, property. As with any property, you want to know where the water is coming from and where the sewer is going from. Okay, the sewer or is it septic? Okay, if it's sewer, it's pretty straightforward. It's going to be connected to the sewer system. There'll be a connection fee kind of thing. If you have to actually do the connection, maybe you're doing some looking at potential new construction, or maybe if you're looking at a burned down property, that's a concern here. But we're talking about septic tanks here, so a couple things. Number one, the outfit that runs the septic tanks, okay, is essentially going to be your district health department. Okay, so not so much your county. I mean, I'm speaking just from guy in Idaho, but I mean, for the most part, unless it's some crazy exception, you're going to have a district health department that really manages this stuff. Okay, not so much the county or the city. Okay, they work in conjunction with the city and the county, but you're going to be talking to the health department. Okay, your district health department, and they're going to be able to one sign you off. And so, what they're concerned about is whenever you have a septic tank, they're going to have some regulations on there, and whenever you're looking at uh, you know you're looking at building that kind of thing, or maybe if the septic system has failed, um, they're going to get involved and they're going to have some regulations in there that you're going to have to follow. And septic tanks can be really, really, really expensive potentially. Okay, one of the challenges is the drain field. Okay, that's one of the things. So if you have a failed drain field and it's a very small area, there's not a lot of room to put all the all the shiz everywhere, right? Um, they might make you drill some huge deep hole to put it in. I mean, it really depends on kind of how the ground is too. What kind of you know, we're gonna do some soil sampling, that kind of thing. So all that kind of costs money. So just know that could be big money. Okay. Another thing is um, they're going to have a certain size requirement. So let's say this. Back in the day, Bob and Susie built a house on a third of an acre or half an acre, and they had a septic tank here. And you want to make sure the well, I mean, there'll be requirement at least 100 feet. The well's here, and the drain field's over here, right? So you're not getting this get involved, right? The water rises, and next thing you know, yeah, you get it, right? That'd be horrible. That's happened. A friend of mine. Anyways, that's another story. Point is, they're going to have that requirement, right? So, but here's the point for you though. That a long time ago, the requirements weren't very strict. Just make sure you drill your well there and you something tank there. Now with the requirements, the district health may say, you're not going to be able to put a septic system in any lot that's smaller than 1 acre. Okay, and if that's the case, and you've got a failed septic system and it's on half an acre, you're probably gonna have a real hard time putting a new septic system in it. Okay, so you want to know about that. How big is the lot? What are their requirements? Okay, that's the first thing. The size of the lot's really going to matter. Two, they're going to want to know where the well is. Okay, that's a big deal. Where's if the well's in the middle of the property? I've seen this. There's not a lot of 100 trying to do 100 feet around it. It won't work. You got to put a new well in. Wells cost 30 grand, 50 grand, 20 grand, right? Okay. Another thing they're going to be concerned about is the actual septic system itself. Based on, they call it a perk test. They're going to test the ground and do a bunch of math and science and those kind of thing. And they're gonna determine, because they're cool, because they run everything. And they do. I mean, they're going to tell you this is the kind of septic system you're going to have in there. Okay. If you have this above ground aerator thing because the soil isn't that good, That's a $15,000, $20,000 septic system versus just the in-ground, 1,000 gallon kind of thing. Does that make sense? So is it what is it? So you want to know that, okay? They may have to come out and do a soil sample. Okay, well, that's gonna be some money. Okay. So why am I telling you all this stuff? These are just some things you need to be thinking about when you're looking at a rural property. Okay, you may say, well, that's too much work. I don't even like rural properties. I rather just stick within town. Great, stick within town then, but you're missing out a lot of money because all these are just questions. And I have a mind map on my channel that kind of goes through all the stuff you need to be looking at. Okay, it just helps you be well informed, and so you can make good decisions. So you need to know what kind of septic system that the district health is going to require of you. And most of the time, they're going to have a permit that was filed. Okay, for the newer properties. Older stuff, they're not going to have it. Okay, so this goes down to the last thing I want to talk to you about: the size of the septic tank. Because here's the point: how you make money as a real estate wholesaler. You know this. You get a property under contract because you solved the seller's problem. You go to your buyer. You know what your buyer is looking for. So you assign a contract to your buyer. You get an assignment fee. The buyer then goes out and spends 50 grand, 100 grand, 60 grand, whatever it is, rehabbing the house, including maybe putting a new septic system in there, right? And then they sell it to an end user buyer. The end user buyer, this is where I'm going with this. They're going to go get a loan with Wells Fargo or XYZ Credit Union or what have you. Okay. And their lender is going to send out an appraiser, and they're going to appraise a property. And they're not just going to look at the house and go, yeah, it's worth 389.9. Yeah, it looks good. Well, that's part of it. But they're also going to look at how the house is, and there's a bunch of lender requirements that have to be satisfied, okay, for the lender to go, yeah, we'll fund this. And one of them is the size of the septic tank. So know this: if you got yourself an 800 gallon septic tank, it's probably not going to get financed with traditional financing. It's just not. So the golden rule is 1,000 gallon tank. Okay, so what I'm saying to you is make sure you have 1,000 gallon tank in there, and you're gonna go, well, how do I know that? What you do is just call us, your district health to have a permit for this septic system. Okay, chances are they do, unless it's a really really old house, and they don't. Okay, but if it is, get a copy of that permit, and there'll be a schematic. The house is here, the back deck's here, and 10 foot away, is the septic 1,000 gallon tank, and then the drain fields over. Whatever. Does that make sense? That's what you want to look at, and look at the tank, size of the tank. Okay. I hope this helps you. If you need any more clarification about how septic systems or rural properties, if it's a deal or not, let me know below, and we get on a Zoom call. Potentially we can do some joint venture and make some money together. So we'll talk to you in the next video.